everyone, I'm Richard, this is Grey Wizard Gaming, and today we're just doing a mini review of Funkoverse DC Comics. So I, like many geeks, love Funko Pops. Some people don't. I love them. However, I'm not a big collector. And that's because I'm really not a collectionist or a completionist, right? I do buy geeky things. I like geeky things. I like to buy things I like, sure. But I don't feel a deep need to get all of something. So I own about 12 Funko Pops, I think. And the reason why I didn't buy more is, what do you do with them? If I put my Funko Pops that I've bought in a box somewhere, then I will just sell them or get rid of them something, because that's just not me. So when Funko came out with Funkoverse and this ability to play with the figures, man, I was on board. This I can get behind. I can buy these and somebody can say, oh, I just want a simple, easy, quick game. Let's pull out Funkoverse and let's play. And that is how we've generally used it. We just pull it out when we need something that is pretty quick, because you pull out the board, you choose the scenario, and you play. Now, how does it play? Well, it's the first scenario basically introduces you to just beat each other until somebody's down, until somebody's knocked out. And then that's it. And that is like the core. The core is you could just, in almost every single one of these scenarios, you could, if you wanted to, just focus on attacking the other team. And it is a team versus team game. So in this case, it's Batman and Batgirl versus Joker and Harley Quinn, which means you can play 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 1 versus 2. If you buy the expansion, there's only one in the DC Comics universe right now. You can then play 3 versus 3, 1 versus 3, or any combination thereof, where you just give control of the different figures to one person each, or two figures per person, whatever you want. Side note, while playing, we never had a problem with them just falling over. Now I have repeatedly knocked them over. I don't know what's going on. All right, let's continue. The character that you have has very distinct, unique abilities. And this is what makes the game fun, because just giving me a figure and saying, "You're Harley Quinn," is not fun to me. It really isn't. I know some people are totally happy to just have a name or figure, but honestly, any game like that, I don't play. I like asymmetric games. I want different abilities on each team, and I want to try to use those abilities differently when I play. So the characters are quite unique. They have very distinct abilities. They're very different. And I really like that. Honestly, I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Just for some examples, like Harley Quinn. She has Whirlwind, which allows her to do a challenge to each adjacent rival. I'll talk about what the base terms mean in a moment. Feign Distress. Choose a standing rival Harley can see. Roll 3 dice. For each success, pull the target 1 square. There's a reason for that. Joker has an ability to put traps down, what he calls mystery boxes. So if you can pull people into your mystery box, it's amazing. Out of my way! Move an adjacent rival 1 square, move Harley up to 2 squares. Again, it's just about, Harley is about crowd control, about moving people around. And in cooperation with Joker, that can be really powerful. Depending on scenarios, that could be really powerful. That's just one character. Her abilities are entirely different than other people, like Batman, who has grappling swing. Choose a rival within 3 squares that Batman can see. Place Batman adjacent to them. Do a challenge 2 to them. And let's get on to those base actions so I can say what a challenge even is. Each activation, and this is common in many miniature games, your team activates a figure in any order, and then the other team activates a figure in any order, and then you activate the remaining figure on your team, and then the other team activates the remaining figure on their team. It gets a little bit more interesting when you have 3 versus 3 characters, which could be 1 versus 1 player or 3 versus 3 players, right? Okay. So when you activate a character, you get 2 actions. When all of your characters have activated, then you have completed a round. And I'll talk about the significance of the round in a moment. So when you activate them and you activate their actions, you can move, challenge, assist, interact, rally. Challenge is roll 2 dice to challenge an adjacent rival. And they use the word challenge because in other Funkoverse universes like Golden Girls, I assume that you're just using lots of sass. So it's challenges in this game, probably fighting, but it's, vague and abstract because there's lots of figures. Assist is to stand an adjacent ally. So if Joker has knocked Batgirl down, then Batman can come over and stand Batgirl up. And you want to stand her up because if you leave her down, for example, maybe Batman's like, well, I could beat Joker. I'm going to come over and I'm going to knock down Joker. Well, the problem with that is now Harley Quinn is going to come over and beat Batgirl. And then the round is complete. Typically, when somebody's knocked down, you go and try to stand them up as fast as possible. Though if you're too far to get there, obviously that's not going to work. One of the things I kind of got irritated about was they don't include a card that describes your default actions, but they do have these characters, inmates and henchmen and police figures, depending on which expansions you have, and they do have the default actions. So I really like that, and I recommend using these to just remind people what they can do. Now, if you choose to activate a special ability, it's a little bit different, and I think this is very cool. So you have these sheets, and 4, 3, 2, 1, place knocked out character here. So what you do is when you activate something like, say, mystery box, then you take the token of the appropriate symbol and you put it wherever it says. So in this case, mystery box has a 2. So you put the token there, and now you can't activate mystery box until you get that token back. At the end of the round, you move all tokens down 1. Also, if there's a knockdown figure, you move the knockdown figure down and off the board. When they come off the board, which in mystery box takes 2 turns, then now you can use it the next round again. So I think it's super cool. It's super straightforward. In the end, I think a lot of people who haven't played mini games before are going to play this, enjoy this, but then they're going to hit the downside. It's very simplistic. Basically, the game is really these scenarios. And that means the figures don't really have their own game. They understand how their actions work, but the complexity or simplicity of the game is ultimately defined in these scenario cards. And the starting scenario cards are pretty simple. So I know my gaming group, they said ultimately it's cool, but they don't want to play it a lot. What I would really like to see is some more rich scenarios. Right now, they're including scenario cards basically almost for free with the character packs. So if you buy Robin and Catwoman, then you get another 2 of these in another board. Okay, that's cool. But what if they had a map pack, and the map pack literally had more rules than what can fit on a card? What if there was things you could do on the board? What if there was more gadgets? What if there was more physical props? I think there's so many cool things you could do. More on the complexity of some of the other bigger games. I mean, Zombicide starts very simple, but later versions of Zombicide get more complex. So I definitely think you could have gear, equipment, you could have, I don't know, you could have all kinds of cool stuff. There's really no limit to what Funko can do with this game, but as it is, do not expect a very rich experience. Expect very cool things, very high quality components, and ultimately you can play these games pretty quickly, but then it's going to be done. And I don't know how much replayability it will have for your group. For my group, it does not have a lot of replayability, but then again, that's okay. It's not a very expensive game, and I think you definitely get good quality for what's here. So maybe that's enough. It's almost unfair for me because I'm kind of comparing it to games that cost hundreds of dollars. Those games typically have almost infinite replayability. This game, this is just a, we don't have time to set up a big game, so let's do something easy. However, I'd love to hear what other people have experienced. Do you like it? Do you think it's too simple? Or for the price and value, is it enough? Do you feel like this is good value for your gaming dollar? All right, so I'm gonna start doing something new. First of all, we hit 2,000 subscribers. So that was a surprise because we got a massive surge of subscribers over the past week. And I didn't think we were gonna hit it until December. I really appreciate it, everyone. I am gonna do a big giveaway because that's what I do at significant numbers that are significant basically only to me. I am gonna do something new starting this video. The giveaway will be next week, so keep your eye out on that. But I'm gonna start doing kind of just a video response to some of the comments because you guys are commenting a lot. Most of it positive, some of it negative, and I love it all. Tech Tom says, if there's Hellion, take Hellion. That's in response to my last video about... actually, that was in 5 biggest mistakes when playing Terraforming Mars. That's an older video, but people are still commenting, and I literally just made a new video. I hope Tech Tom watches that video in my response of whether Hellion is broken or the most powerful corporation. Inquisitor Winter made the mistake number 2, which is it's not just 2 actions per generation. Man, that first game when so many groups who are like self-taught and think it's 2 actions per generation, it's a weird game. It's not a good game. When you realize it's 2 actions until you run out of actions, it's much better. Jim B, 20 minutes video with 5 minutes of info. That is true, Jim B. That's about my 5 tips on how to get the most out of your Gloomhaven campaign. I've really struggled to understand, am I making a podcast where I talk for an hour and a half, or am I doing an informational video that you can just get in, get what you need, and get out? I don't know what I'm doing yet. Comment down below. Do you want these all to be 4 minutes? I mean, I can be talking really fast and I can get all this stuff out and I can give you all the information you possibly need to do whatever you need to do and learn about. And then I could have like a 4-minute video and get you back to your day. Or I can just kind of talk to you guys. I kind of like just talking to you guys. So that's kind of me. But I am trying to make my videos more information and less fluff. I might do a podcast so I can get it out of me. And if you guys want to listen to me over on a podcast, then that'd be great. I do have a podcast already, Dorkside News, but this would be a gaming podcast. So Steve Bernard, and this will be the last comment that I respond to on this video. Steve Bernard, he says that he likes the vanilla experience of DC deck building. And I said very specifically, I like the more complex games. Teen Titans, Forever Evil, the more complex DC deck building games from Cryptozoic. And so he was like, okay, they take the original base set mixed with Heroes Unite. They threw in Crossover Pack 1, and then they get rid of anything that slows down the gameplay, like rotating cards, time travel, ongoing, and they smash through 3 or 4 games in a couple hours. They love the game in the original format. So thank you, Steve Bernard. I love the comment. And so Sunday, I made 8 racks of ribs and invited a bunch of people over, and we did exactly this. And it was a heck of a lot of fun. You're totally right. I still think by the 3rd game, and we normally don't get through 1 or 2, just 1, maybe 2, maybe 2. We got through 3 games and we stopped playing an hour early when normally it goes long. That was cool. It was cool. I admit it. However, by the 3rd game, I think we were starting to feel like the game wasn't as rich, the game wasn't as complex, and maybe it felt a little bit more luck-based. Because the games were going so fast, there wasn't a lot of time to curate our decks, and if somebody got a good card combo, they basically won. There was no stopping them once they got their card combo like kind of going. That's just what we noticed. I think we will play it again. However, I don't think we'll play it always. I think that when everyone has more energy, we'd rather have a deeper game with Teen Titans or any of the other games that have those ongoing effects and time travel, things like that. So I really appreciate it. We had a fun night. I'm going to start going through more of these games and just being like, hey, some of these games, a lot of these games have collections of expansions that you can mix and match. And I want to know what you guys recommend and what you have enjoyed so that I can recreate that experience and bring it to my gaming group, because it was super fun. And it was even super fun to be like, hey, we're going to play what one of the guys from the gaming YouTube channel commented. And we did. And it was like different. And it wasn't any of us. It was like just this like anonymous person from the heavens saying, you will have fun. And we did. So that was awesome. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. And I think next week is Cthulhu Wars because I'm feeling it. All right. Bye, guys.